What is up, y'all? Happy New Year. If you have been with me since the beginning, 2021, 2020, uh, maybe even, 2022, I think that's the last time I told this story. So it's been about 4 years. So we're going to run it back for all the new people. I'm Dax Hill. I was 38th in the world when I swam in the 200 freestyle. I was 6th in the U.S. At the time, I was like the fastest rising guy. Everybody thought I was going to win the two free at trials, and I totally stank it up. That's another story for another time about overtraining and being in the wrong practice group. But like I said, another story for another time. So this is my first time going to the NCAA championships, or as they like to call it, the Longhorn Cal Bear Invite. And this year, like I said, it's my sophomore year. I'm balling in the 200 freestyle. Talk trash the whole year about beating Ricky and Dave at our winter invite. Get about 12 seconds away from beat Dave, and then 12 seconds away from beating Ricky before I fall off a cliff and crashed. Body just couldn't keep going. And I'm like seated third or fourth going into national championships. So, or third through fifth, somewhere in there. And we get to the meet, and the first day happens. Now, the first day is different now from what it was when I swam, right? There's been three different iterations of it. And back then, the first day, there was no separation of the 8 free and the 2 medley, I think is what it was, to its own day. So we go 2 free relay. My first championship meet, I go 18.8, which is very fast back then. If you adjust it for swim inflation, it's probably like going like 18.3 now. And Cal does their thing, right? They win the relays, or they get second one, the 200 free relay. Stanford breaks the American record, and then they win the medley relay, and Tom goes 43 on his fly leg, which was like the fastest split of all time. Back then, this is 2011. Cal does their thing in the 50. We do our thing in the IM and the 5 free. But we know this day one is never our day, right? Back then. Still kind of isn't. But Cal goes up like 20 or 30 points, right? So day 2 rolls around, and we wake up for breakfast, and we're at team meeting, and Matt Scoggin, the diving coach, gives us the story. And we're kind of like half listening, right? Let's say the 3/4 listening. And he starts talking about superpowers. So I'm already like, okay, this guy's tripping. And so Scoggin was a member of the United States Olympic team in diving. And he tells us that when all he had to do was like land his dive just like kind of well. He didn't have to nail it or anything. If he did that, he would have medaled. And Americans back then, even now, it's very hard to medal, right? And diving, Chinese usually dominated. And Scoggin said he went up and he said he felt this like nervous, like just full body nervous energy. Somebody said he never felt it before. And he was like trying to like push it down and like harness it. And he goes to do his dive and he just completely woofs on his dive and goes from like 3rd place to last place. I think he ended up finishing 6th. And Scoggin tells us that those were his superpowers awakening. So now I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's super corny. And, Max Cheese. And I kind of like check out, right? And he's like, and when you feel that energy, he's like, don't run from it. He's like, you got to breathe in and accept it and like let it take over. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we get to the meet, right? We walk across from our hotel to the Minnesota pool. And like I said, it's 2011, and our 4 a.m. does not go as planned. We should have gone like 2 up, 1 down. I think we went 1 up, right? 100 fly, nobody finals. I want to say in the breaststroke, we went 1 up, 1 down when we were supposed to go 2 up, right? Yeah, 1 up, 1 down. And then it's my turn to swim. So I'm like, oh man, like we're kind of laying an egg right now. Like we were supposed to be making a comeback and evening up the score because our day 2 is our second best day. Day 3 is our best day. And we kind of had the numbers to at least be competitive to keep it within striking distance for our day 3 and close the gap a little bit, right? 20, 15 points. That would have been perfect. So it's my turn to swim, and the 200 freestylers are laying an egg, like swimming terrible. And I'm just like, oh no, here we go. And my training buddy, Scott Justice, shout out to him. He's in the heat before me, right? I think I was third because he was in lane 4. Yeah, so he would have been seated. I don't know what seed that would have been, but and he stinks it up. And I'm just like, as he's swimming, like he's 100 in, I'm like, oh, he's off pace. I'm like, this is terrible. I'm like, I'm about to lay an egg. And I remember feeling that same nervous energy that Scott was talking about, and I thought to myself, like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, no way this is happening right now. And it was like a full body thing. I've never experienced that in my life. I can't even describe it. It was almost like my whole body was like crawling, like my skin was crawling. You don't really know what that word means until it happens, and it's like the only way you can explain it. Like toes to head, like every inch of my skin. And then like underneath it was like this like weird like prickly like energetic feeling. And I remember thinking like, this guy's gonna be right. Scoggins gonna be right. So I take a deep breath and kind of just like, I remember I like pushed it from like the top of my head, you know, for if you've done yoga, you're ready. I pushed it through my, like exhaled it through my spine to my toes, and it just like bounced like a rubber band, like bounced like from my feet to my head, like back and forth. And then it was a very interesting sensation. And then I dive in, finish qualifying first for finals, come back at finals, and then finishing second behind Brett Frazier of Florida. Shout out to Brett. First 1-2 black finish, if you care. Before Simone, Natalie, and Leah. Let the record reflect it. But yeah, I just remember thinking like, I cannot believe this Scoggins right. I knew how to do it because I was listening, like I said, 3/4. But it was just like when it happened, I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way what he described is going down right now. And it was. And his advice was on the money. And I think I went like 1:33.0 or, yeah, I went 33.0, 33.11, qualified first. And it was just like, oh, wow, like, we outside. And then like, it was really cool too because my swim like turned the meet around. I think the breaststroke may have been the next event because like me and Friedland, you know, he's our breaststroker. We always swam one after another. So 2 breasts before the 100 free, 2 free before the 100 breasts. So I'm sure he was seeing everybody lay an egg too. And I like put a complete stop to all that trash swimming we were doing. And then our breaststrokers come back and go 1 up, 1 down. Like I said, they were supposed to go 1 up, 2 up, but we ended up splitting like 8th and 9th, you know, awful. Backstroke, we went 2 up. Cole, I think, ended up finishing 3rd. And yeah, it was really cool to like be the guy who took over and turned the tides for Texas. But that's the story, guys. So, you know, when you got those nerves, you gotta kind of accept defeat. Like I would say that's how I describe it. Like I accepted that I was gonna like do bad and like breathed in that acceptance, and then I was free to like race my race and, you know, be the hero of the day, I suppose. But yep, that's the story, guys. Happy New Year. Hope you all had a good Christmas, and see y'all around soon.